Alright, this is the last time you're ever gonna hear this truck with this crappy exhaust system on it that sounds... Trust me, it doesn't sound as good as you guys think it does. It's always been that way. Fun fact, I didn't actually realize this till recently. When we were in duct tape, Arizona with this truck, where we were pitted was right next to Black Widow exhaust. I did not realize that. Well, Grape was there, saw my truck, found me on social media like a year later, and then was like, hey, dude, we should get some exhaust on your stuff. And I was like, all right, that's actually a good idea, because I built this stuff when I was 16 and I'm looking to change it. Lo and behold. So, we have a builder's kit from Black Widow. When you go on their website, they have a bunch of different mufflers and X-pipes and different configurations. But if you're like me and you don't have a 2015 Camaro or a 1968 Mustang, they don't make kits for your truck. So you have to make it. So they make these. Well, it's good because we use these things all the time. So. And there's the actual exhaust itself. Look at that. This will be the straight section. So this is the most important part of this whole thing. Look at this. Bam. X-pipe, the most important part. Because the existing exhaust setup that I have, the reason with it and the problem, the thing I don't like is it's true dual. If you're driving with a true dual truck, it has this like weird flutter below like 2,500 RPM if you're going up a grade and pulling a hill. It just like, makes this annoying noise that nobody likes, and I hated that. So that's just something that you don't really pick it up on camera, but it's one of those things that when you're in the truck or driving it, it's super annoying, and this is gonna fix that. So also when you're talking about like the NASCAR exhaust sound, this being a true X-pipe that you can see straight through is going to make that happen. So I'm super stoked with this. This is one of those things that I've definitely wanted to do. It's all stainless, and then on top of that, the Widowmaker 10. So this is a true through muffler. You can see all the way through it. The problem with the muffler that's on it, it has a giant V right dead square in the center of it, which if you're anything like me and trying to do somewhat high RPM stuff, having a big V right in the center is just like putting a parachute right in front of the exhaust. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack this on and then just kind of work my way back, I guess. I should probably make sure this is angled right. Yeah, that'll work. Something like that, right? Thank you. Okay, well, that looks pretty good. It's kind of, you can see it's a pretty equal length setup. So it just basically comes out one side and then NASCAR style comes out the other. So, which is definitely key for this style sound. I'm not saying if you have a bunch of bends in it, it sounds bad. It's just the type of, you know, style that we're going for. So it's all tacked up. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the backyard, get out the TIG welder. We're gonna go ahead and fill all these, make them look really, really pretty. But yeah, I'm stoked with this. This looks good. Nothing. I really hope this camera doesn't die. brings us back here with the truck. So, what happened? So I'll analyze this pretty quickly. I don't want to take a bunch of time. I definitely hurt the motor. You can see it on the flyby. When I come around the corner, there's a bunch of smoke behind it. I couldn't see any of that. I don't have an AFR gauge in this truck, which is something I definitely should have had. But basically, long story short, I went around the corner, something was going on in the motor that I didn't notice. It was on a sick one. This thing was hauling, it was running really good, so I didn't think of anything of it. Came around the corner, grabbed third gear, fourth gear, and up in the top of fourth gear, it started to kind of fall on its face and backfire. That's when I lifted. You can't really hear it, but inside the truck I felt it. So I lifted, and then that's when I put it in fifth, revved it, backfired, I knew I heard something. So long story short, it leaned out in a cylinder, and it definitely hurt it. So I know exactly what happened, I know why, but we're gonna dive into it a little bit more in a future video, but I don't wanna skip across the fact that this exhaust sounds absolutely mental. If you're a small block guy like me, whether it's Dodge, Chevy, Ford, I don't really care what it is, and you want a setup that sounds like this, definitely look into the Black Widow. That X-pipe, it makes this thing sound incredible, as well as these Widowmaker 10s that just gives it that perfect tone, and I cannot be any more pleased. This thing sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with the setup, although we definitely have some work to do. So the motor was broken. We had well over 1,000 miles on it. I've beaten on it plenty of times at that point, so I'm not really sure why what happened. But nevertheless, we'll go forward from this and we'll learn, we'll figure out what happened, we'll fix it, we'll make it better.